All right, so my name is Kaylin, and I am going to be presenting the biomechanics of musculoskeletal injuries, primarily focusing on the functional movement assessment. So the person I had volunteer for this assessment is my cousin Brittany. She is 25 years old. Her sleeping pattern is that she sleeps on both sides, but she does like predominantly or dominantly like sleeps like on her right side most of the time. She works at Cookie Crumble, uh, three to four, 3 to 4 days a week on a 6 to 8 hour schedule. Um, what she mainly does at Cookie Crumble is that she does a lot of walking, arm movements. So like she does use her arms a lot. So she uses her arms and hands a lot because she has to like prep the dough and like do like excessive like reaching and things of that sort, like decorating like the cookies and whatnot and taking them out of the oven. So she does like a lot of like bending as well too while she is like taking the cookies out of the oven. And then also lifting. She is like lifting like heavy boxes all the time with like the cookie dough, the decor, like any like additional things that goes like on the cookies. Um, she does exercise like 6 days a week for like an hour and a half. So like her rest days are mainly on Sundays, but whenever she is resting, she does do like a light workout from what she tells me. Like she'll do like a walk like around like her neighborhood, or like she'll go like on a light hike just to basically just keep her body like inactive. Um her clinical history, she did get injured in 2016, so this is when she was in high school. She did do softball majority of her life. I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to cut off like that. Okay, so yes, so she did do softball since like she was like 9 to 10 years old, but when she had reached to like her, I believe this was like her senior year in high school where she got injured and she was diagnosed with a shoulder impingement and a sprained rotator cuff, and it was her right shoulder. So she was in physical therapy for 2 months. And the type of like physical therapy that she had to do at home was use like the stretch band, the exercise stretch band at home. But she told me that it wasn't working out for her, so instead like they did like the acupuncture needle that worked better for her. Um because especially since like those needles and are directly like on her muscle, and the type of movement that they had her do, um that needle would like puncture like through like that muscle that was like really hurting the most. So she said that it was like the most painful experience that she ever had, like. So I when she was telling me the story, it was actually like I wanted to cry for her. Like I could only imagine how that would feel like. Um, but 3 years later, she started back into like her fitness journey, and then she just focused working out on her injured shoulder when she had went back into the gym. So
Go ahead.
here is her deep
Take your
squat.
time.
I feel like here, like she did a really good job maintaining her posture. Her spine is perfectly aligned straight. Her knees are, as she goes into like the deep lunge, I mean, not the deep lunge, I'm sorry, the deep squat, like her knees are perfectly facing forward. They're not trying to go like inward whatsoever. So yeah, I feel like she did a really good job. And then also
Go
like right
ahead.
here, her
Take your time.
her hips, she had to start over for a second, she had lost her stumble. But her hips are perfectly um at a 90-degree angle. Um, so yeah, I was actually proud that she did that. So the next one is
Go ahead.
her hurdle
Yeah, go
step.
ahead. Go.
As you can see, like she did a really good job stepping over the hurdle. Manila Top was struggling whatsoever. Um, Even with like the bar, like she held the bar on her shoulder like
What?
really, really good.
Yeah, go ahead, go. Sorry.
She's so silly. And then even this is her right leg, I believe. Yeah, so she did a really good job.
Go ahead.
Here's her inline lunge. As you can see her from the sagittal view, like her spine is like perfectly in line with the dowel. With the shoulder mobility, I didn't have a ruler, so we just used like her water bottle, and I just basically like measured, just in between like the VOS. So like I just used like the letters on the water bottle to basically measure. So if she was able to like get close enough to the space of like where the V and the not the V, the O and the S, um, like her hands, like her fists, but to get closer like to the O and the S, like that would have been perfect. That's how I measured it. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm so sorry. Next is her active scapular stability. So I
You
mainly
feel any
had her
pain?
do like her right
Okay, perfect.
shoulder, since that she did like injured that shoulder back in 2016, and she doesn't feel any kind of pain, which is really, really good. Um, here is her active straight leg raise here. And we basically use the inline of the turf. So as she picks up, she actually goes like right past. You can see it better on the side of the view, but she actually goes like right past like that dowel. So she's really, really flexible, like in her hips, in her hamstrings. Here is a split
Go.
trunk stability push-up. Perfectly aligned, spine not hunched over. No struggles. Even her shoulder looks really, really good, especially in the
Ready? Go.
such a strong push-up. I love it. She impresses me every time.
Ready?
All
Go.
right, then you have the spinal extension clearing. She felt no
Okay.
pain
You feel
when she
any
was
pain?
doing this.
No. Okay. That's what I'm saying. No, no.
Um, and then here is her
Go ahead.
planetary stability.
Go. You
On
can.
both sides. She did absolutely great on both sides. And then here's her
Go
spinal
ahead.
flexion clearing. She felt
You feel
no
any pain?
pain
Perfect.
doing the childlike pose. So I felt like the entire assessment with the screening, like she did a really, really good job. Um I did like wanted to focus like more onto like her deep squat, even though that she did really, really perfect, but I'm pretty sure that if she wanted to like really like enhance like her deeper squat, here are like a couple like other exercises that she can do to enhance that squat. So the first one would be she would use a foam roller. So she could work out like, well, not work out, but like really like release like the tension like in her muscles, like mainly like in her legs and her hips, and not her legs and her hips, but let me be more specific, in her hamstrings and in her quads. She, for the regression, she would use like a softer foam roller or like a massage ball to ease out those muscles just a little bit. And then the progression, should we use like a firm roller or like a deep, or focus on the deeper like trigger points to get those like muscles like out and more like relaxed. Another type of like exercise that she can do is it's like a seated like forward fold, which I like to call like a pike stretch. Pike stretch. I was in chair, so like we like to call this like a pike stretch because this is you would have to like do like a pike jump. So it would basically like look like that. But anyways, so the regression would be she would be sitting on an elevated surface to reduce like hamstring tension. And the progression would be like she would like she can hold weights or she could actively like pull her torso closer to her legs. Um, or what I would like to do with that one, I would try to have like my nose go in between my knees as I'm like pulling forward. Um, and then with the sumo stretch, which is this one right here, the regression is that she could begin at a higher stance and then pressing the knees outward gently. Um, or and then I'm sorry, that was the regression. The progression would be a lower, deeper into like a wide stance squat or out of weight. So she can add like a dumbbell she's like doing like this some sumo squat. And then another one that she could do, another a couple last two, I'm sorry, last two uh exercises that she can do to enhance like her deeper squat is the lung stretch. So she can use for the regression, like she can use like a cushion like underneath like her knee and keep her torso upright for support. And for the progression, she would lean into like a deeper stretch and raise her arms overhead to increase like the difficulty. Just to like get like those hip like flexors like out there and get them all nice and good. And then we have like the figure four stretch. So the figure four stretch, like she would be laying on her back, having her knee up crossing over her other leg, and then she would just pull that knee that is like up underneath like the crossover leg. Hopefully that makes sense. And the regression for that, she could perform this while also like sitting down. So she would have like her hands on the chair and doing this, or for the progression, she could be doing this lying down, which is how I described earlier, or she could progress into a pigeon pose on the floor. And that is my presentation. Thank you.